Thank you so much for joining me here today at Re-Written Vintage Homestead. It's a cold one here today, 17 degrees, and with the wind chill, it's below zero. So it's a perfect Saturday for our Super Saturday, and I've got a really good one for you here today with that roast that I made this week, and it's beef barley soup. So I've got about a tablespoon of oil here. Heating up in my skillet. I want to tenderize my roast a little more. I had already cooked it in the oven, browned it somewhat, but I want it to be slightly tender. So I just added about a teaspoon of garlic, and I'm going to get that mixed up nicely in here. Oh, the kitchen is smelling wonderful already. Once everything is nice and brown, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my homemade tomato paste and just mix that up in here till everything is incorporated well. Now you could just pile everything in your crock pot. I like to do it this way because the vegetables will end up picking up little bits of meat and spice, and it just, to me, it tastes so much better this way. I've already added salt and pepper to taste. And I will add the rest of my spices after I get this mixed up nicely. To this, I'm going to add some onion powder, probably, I don't know, 1/4 teaspoon maybe. And a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Just get that mixed up nicely. And then we're going to start adding this wonderful browned, yummy goodness to our crock pot. Now to my soup base here of pot roast, carrots, celery, onion, garlic, Italian seasoning, and salt and pepper and tomato paste, I am going to add 4 cups of beef broth. Always make sure that you have beef and chicken broth in your pantry at all times, because there are so many wonderful soup recipes and stews that you can make if you have that on hand. And you may only have root vegetables in your pantry at the time. So make sure that you keep that stocked up well. And I'm also going to add the barley. 1/2 cup of the barley. Now I'm going to put this on my crock pot, and I'm going to cook it 4 to 6 hours on low, or you can do it 2 to 4 hours on high, just until your vegetables get nice and tender. So let's get to cooking. I did end up adding about 2 more cups of beef broth to my soup. The barley really soaks up the liquid. So make sure you have about 6 cups available when you make this soup. It smells fantastic and tastes delicious. Look at those chunks of vegetables and meat in there. Perfect for a cold day. This is one of the best soups I've made so far. It's got thick, creamy juice, broth, I guess. Big, rich vegetables and chunks of meat. It is just delicious. And I made crusty bread with it. My husband has some cheese with his, and we're having milk. So it's a perfect soup for a cold day like today. What we don't eat for dinner, we're gonna have tomorrow for lunch.